To what extent, if at all, is this impacting constituent services? Is your staff still intact?
Well, we're still intact, Joe. We're still here to help Hoosiers navigate what is unfortunately a manufactured chaos by the National Democratic Party and their far-left donors and supporters. Chuck Schumer has decided to go with the far left on this rather than with the American people. He wants to shut down our federal government because he's mad at Donald Trump, and he understands that so many other Democrats are mad at Donald Trump. And so it's my job and the job of other Republicans to explain to the American people that whatever substantive issues the Democrats say that they want to work on, those are best worked on when government is funded, when government is still operating, and worked on through what we call regular order, which is a structured conversation so that we can work through substantive disagreements. This is always what the Senate has done at its best moments. Unfortunately, this is one of its worst moments in recent memory.
Well, and God knows we haven't seen actual regular order in a long time. I'm still threatening to break out the regular order T-shirts one of these days here, Senator, so don't give us a reason. But I wonder, I don't know if you heard my conversation with Laura. We're hearing from Democrats that the issue of Obamacare subsidies is not an end-of-year issue, as the Speaker and John Thune have said, but it's a now issue because the open enrollment has begun, the notices are going out, and people might drop off the rolls if they think they can't afford health care. Is that a concern of yours?
Well, it absolutely is. November 1st is, to be precise, when open enrollment begins. So we really only have a few weeks here and realistically a couple of weeks because insurance companies will require a bit of time to prepare the new enrollment packages. So a couple of weeks to make any sort of substantive changes, the very changes that Democrats say they're shutting down the government for. So if indeed this is really why they want to shut down the government, let's come to the table. Let's open up government as the polling indicates the American people want, and let's deal with whatever challenges we have like adults.
What's going to happen at the vote coming up here? You're going to be on the floor in a moment. Are you hearing from any of your Democratic colleagues that they might join John Fetterman and others?
Well, I'm not particularly optimistic. I think most of the predictions are that the couple of brave Democrats who decided to vote affirmatively to keep government open yesterday, their numbers won't be increasing. But I hope that's different. I hope they continue to listen to their constituents. I think your previous analyst's assessment that it may take several days before things change and then they could change all at once is probably accurate. In the meantime, myself and others will be taking our case to the American people that this is an entirely manufactured crisis. It was brought to us by Chuck Schumer, and we have to return to a more orderly form of government.
You worried about the potential for cuts that Russ Vogt is talking about? The president's up with a video on Truth Social that's don't fear the Reaper. He's got Russ Vogt up there with the SIF and the whole thing. How concerned are you that you're going to see furloughs turn into permanent layoffs in your state?
Well, listen, Russ Vogt and the president have made threats before. I think they have to be taken seriously. I'll continue to do my job, but know that we have some strong personalities. And for those who have concerns about their threats, if the government isn't opened, I think they should take those concerns very seriously. I think Democrats, who have prided themselves over the years as the party of government, should also take those concerns very seriously.
Is Vogt weaponizing the shutdown? You could have this thing open, as we've established, in any number of days here with a deal. Why talk about permanent layoffs and closing agencies now?
No, what the Democrats are effectively asking us to do is to undo some commonsensical changes that we made to the One Big Beautiful Bill to our health care in this country. I don't believe that Obamacare is structured in a thoughtful way. I still believe that there are better ways to deliver health care than through highly expensive Obamacare plans. So as it relates to health care, I think we need to deal with root causes. Therefore, I remain very much open to dialogue with my Democrats about how we can come together and affect those sorts of changes. But instead, what they've done here is they're trying to negotiate with Republicans and with the American people effectively under duress. And that's a precedent we don't want to be establishing.
We spent the last couple of evenings up in the Senate, Senator, and spent some time with potential deal makers, including Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen. We talked with Tom Cole on the other side. Are we going to see a gang emerge here? Maybe you were part of some of these conversations on the floor, and I realize we're not talking about anything led by Thune or the Speaker, but just some organic conversations that are taking place between Republicans and Democrats to move the needle on this. Is that how this ends?
Well, listen, I'm here to make law. I'm here to affect positive policy changes. I share, I guess you could say, the president's zeal for cutting deals from time to time, but those have to be good deals. And they have to be deals that are arrived at under the right conditions. And what this shutdown situation is all about is a manufactured crisis so that Democrats can get more leverage over policy. And more importantly, they want to send a message. They want to send a message that they're fighting at a time when they effectively have no power because the American people rejected their platform and their candidates last election.
So you're going to go home this weekend, we understand. I don't know if you're literally going home, but you won't be in session and voting this weekend. Is that part of the strategy from Leader Thune here to let people go home, think about this, maybe hear from constituents? What's going to take place Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, I think what Leader Thune is recognizing is that this is effectively in the hands of Chuck Schumer and his members, and they're going to have to make a decision. In the meantime, we could be observers of this farce and stay around Capitol Hill all weekend as they try and figure out how to restore some measure of order and credibility to Senate operations in the near term, but we think they can make those decisions among their own tribe on their own time. We're going to go out and many of us go back to our states and take care of other responsibilities.
There's a big story for us here today at Bloomberg, and that we do not have a jobs report because of this shutdown. The BLS data is not out publicly here. I know you're on the Finance Committee, and I'm wondering how concerned you are about the interruption in data collection and data posting here. Senator Elizabeth Warren, for instance, is calling for the release of that data, saying surely it's been compiled. Why can't we see it? Would you support releasing the jobs report?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable to me. Government, one of the important things we do to ensure that our economy is able to run as smoothly and as efficiently as possible is to produce data. For example, we need to know that we're actually creating enough jobs right now to keep up with the increase in the labor force. So that's one of many things we need to be looking at as people look to deploy capital and make important business decisions. And I think all the more reason that the Democrats should be opening up the government so that that data can be out there.
I guess we're in for a delayed release here. Lastly, Senator, and I appreciate all the time that you've given us today, you're also on the Intel Committee. Right before you joined us, Secretary Pete Hegseth told us that the administration has struck, and we see the video here, the thing is totally destroyed, another boat that they say is being run by narco-terrorists bringing drugs to America. It took place right off the coast of Venezuela. Are you comfortable with this continued action, or would you support strikes against cartels inside Venezuela?
I think Congress needs to get involved in this space. I am a member of the Intelligence Committee. I was formerly a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. That latter committee has jurisdiction over our war powers. I would encourage that committee to hold public hearings about this matter. And if a vote is required, a vote to authorize military force, that's something that falls within Congress's area of responsibility under the Constitution. I've worked with Senator Kaine, who's been perhaps the most visible and thoughtful member on the Democratic side as it relates to these matters. And I understand that in coming days, we will be voting on a war powers resolution related to the first strike. So let me be strong on this. I think there's no more fundamental responsibility Congress has than to make sure that their elected representatives can be held accountable for our decisions to go to war.